Malsberg.
The founder and CEO of Newsmax Media, Chris Ruddy. Hey, Chris, how are you?
I'm great, Steve.
Well, I'm telling you, you started quite a firestorm with a column that you wrote for Newsmax.com last week. And basically, you are saying instead of going along with the call by 10 Democratic senators and others on the Democratic side to, yes, force Obama to delay the implementation of Obamacare and various parts of it, you say let it be implemented and allow the voters to decide the outcome in 2014.
Well, it's pretty clear that the Obama administration has already delayed a lot of key provisions of the law, some, I think, without any legal authority to do so. President Obama delayed the employer mandate, which was supposed to begin January 1st, and said he's going to delay it for a year. I've never heard where a president can change the date of a law's enactment, but he seems to think he has the authority. No one in Congress has complained. I know there's a lawsuit by Judicial Watch over the matter. But to me, I think that there's a reason why he wanted delays and why Democrats now are calling for the delay on the individual mandate. They know the law stinks. They know that people are going to be very unhappy, and they're afraid to go into this congressional election next year in 2014. So I say let them have a referendum. Let's have a referendum on the law. They put it through. They signed it. They made it into law. They rammed it down the Republicans' throats. Let's see what happens instead of the Republicans trying to help them out of this every time.
No, I think that you make a great point, and you point out in your piece, take a look at the poll numbers, and even the labor unions don't want this. So, there's a cry all across the spectrum that people are unhappy about this. They're not going to like it, and if we could run on this in 2014 instead of giving something that would help Obama and the Democrats, it would be beneficial. But do you think? The Republicans being the Republicans and sometimes the leadership being what it is, do you think we could reverse this this call? Because they ran, of course, during the whole shutdown and debt ceiling debate on delaying it. Can they stop into their tracks and reverse quickly enough to make it happen your way?
Well, the best thing for Obamacare is not going to be defunded. It's not going to be stopped completely as long as Obama's president. That's pretty clear. But the best thing the Republicans have going for them is that they have a very good shot of capturing the U.S. Senate, which would then give them full control of the U.S. Congress and make it much more difficult for Obama just to accept things as they are. And so with 10 seats up that are supposedly could go Republican, and this law is so unpopular, I say let the election take place, and a new Congress will then start discussing how to modify Obamacare. And you mentioned the unions oppose it. This is really everything we're seeing so far is the tip of an enormous iceberg of problems, because most of the law really doesn't get implemented, and now with these delays, until 2014, 15, some of it's 16 and 17. The Medicare cuts are coming. It's going to be horrific.
Yeah, and of course all the people, millions across the country, every day the stories are written, Florida, California, and everywhere else that are losing their individual policies. We're talking to Chris Ruddy, CEO and founder of Newsmax Media here on the Steve Malsberg Show. You also addressed this fallacy, Chris, which I'm very glad you did in your piece, that talks about how this law, it's settled law, it was debated, it was passed by Congress, it was reviewed by the Supreme Court, 2 elections were held on it, 2 presidential elections, and that's what the people wanted. And in 08 and 012, that's really not the case.
Well, Obama said that that the voters really want this. Well, I think Romney didn't make it an issue in 2012. We know why, because he had passed Romneycare. During the election, he even started embracing parts of Obamacare. So I just think that there was never really, the clearest election was in 2010 after he passed the law and signed it into law. And the Republicans won an overwhelming number of seniors, record turnout. They got control of Congress again. They'll hold control probably for the next 10 years if they don't screw it up.
Yeah, no, absolutely. This mantra by President Obama: if you like your insurance, you could keep it. If you like your doctor, you could keep it. More and more people on the left are coming out. Ted Rall, of all people, who we had on earlier. I'm also talking about Patty Davis, Ezra Klein, just to name a few on the hard left that are really upset over not only the computer glitches, but this whole Obamacare fiasco. Kirsten Powers on Fox News. So you've hit a nerve here, I think, that if we help the Democrats and give them the cover, it's going to be beneficial to them and not to the Republicans. But again, what do you suggest they do now? Do you suggest that they reject the call, for instance, from the 10 senators and come out and say in so many words, nope, we wanted a delay. Now you're not getting a delay. The law should be implemented. I mean, will they do that broadly, or will they do it kind of calmly behind the scenes?
They should just not act on any legislation and pass any legislation. They have the ability to stop controlling the House. The House could act even if the Senate decides. So there's a number of stops. I think there's a growing awareness, like you said. Larry Kudlow, Mike Reagan, other people have said that the Obamacare should just be enacted as it is. He passed it and let the voters decide in the coming election. Obama said that Obamacare would reduce premiums by $2,500 a year for the average family, and he said that you'd keep your doctor and your insurance policy. We know all three of those are untrue. Insurance rates are going to go up, Congress estimates, by about 200% in the next several years. California, they're already talking about 25% rate increases. Most people across the country are seeing 10 to 15%, and the law hasn't really come into full effect. So it's going to be in the next few years, and how that plays into everybody on their current policy. They've got an employer. Most employers, I think, and I'm talking to a lot of business people, that the costs are going to go so high for insurance, they're just going to decide to pay the fine, and they're going to tell their employees to go on the exchanges. So the employees now are going to have to go on exchanges, and that'll change their insurance, and it'll change their doctor in some cases. So it's not a very good system, and people are going to suddenly realize. And then you add to the complexity of the doctor wait times, and the Medicare, people who's not on private insurance, but Medicare is going to see $700 billion in cuts, and a lot of changes that are going to negatively impact them in the next few years. Which, by the way, Newsmax's subsidiary company published the Obamacare Survival Guide, and it really is the best guide to the law. Most people have no idea what the 22,000 pages. Nick Tate, one of our writers, went through, put in simple English what happens. The book has already been a New York Times #1 bestseller. It's been an Amazon #1 bestseller. It's sold over 500,000 copies. And I'll make a shameless plug that people can go to bookstores everywhere or Amazon. If they go to Obamacare911.com, Obamacare911.com, they can even get it for a special $4.95 offer.
Well, it's far from a shameless plug. We had Nick on the show a couple of weeks ago, and he did a great job going over what was in the book. And there's so many things. That book is a Bible for not only patients and the general public, but also for pharmacists and for doctors and for hospital workers to see how the law is going to affect each and every one of them.
Yeah, well, like a lot of people on Medicare don't know, a good number of people on Medicare are going to see their prescription drug costs go up. Others will see it go down. Many people will see tax increases, not everybody. If you're in Medicare and you're in a hospital, the new cuts are going to sort of force hospitals to reduce the amount of stays you'll have. There's been changes in the law as to long-term care. So there's so many little things that you don't even think of. Small businesses, you over 30 people, you have to pay the fine or give insurance. If you have under 30,
right? And it's Obamacare911.com and available in bookstores everywhere. The Obamacare Survival Guide. Chris Ruddy, CEO and founder of Newsmax Media. Thank you, sir.
Steve, great being on with you.
My pleasure. Talk to you soon. Okay, folks, Chris Ruddy. Very, very, very intriguing piece. And I tell you, he's gotten a lot of people on the right, a lot of Republicans now changing and shifting their views. A very powerful column. All right, Steve Malzberg Show, folks, Newsmax TV and radio.